Hi YouTubers, this is Antoinette and I thought I'd make a video for you this morning um, about the side effects of prednisone, and I'm going to try and make this really brief because I got to go to work, but I wanted to talk about a couple of the things that I have been experiencing since I have been prescribed prednisone in May of 2016, this year. And some of the things bother me more than others, and I'll explain that, as I go down my little list. So I have 10 things, but I don't know, I might skip over some things. But here we go. So the first thing that I have noticed about since taking the medication, and let me back up. I started taking the um, corticosteroid prednisone in May of 2016 when I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. And a little background is I had been suffering from fibro for maybe 8-9 months prior to that, before I was correctly diagnosed. And the getting to the diagnosis was like the worst, because it progressively got worse as I got closer to my diagnosis. But in a nutshell, it was so bad that I could barely sit down. I couldn't sleep. My entire body was inflamed with pain, and it was just a bad time for me, until I got the diagnosis and until they gave me prednisone. Now, at that time, prednisone was a godsend for me, because within hours, I could move parts of my body that I couldn't move without excruciating pain for a long time. And I didn't even notice the changes in in how my body was feeling until my mother had mentioned to me. She said, Tony, you can move your neck. And I was like, oh, wow, like like it was a revelation. But she knew the pain that I was in, and she started noticing the difference since I had taken the medication. So so I have been on prednisone for 7 months now, and I started at 20 milligrams, which I know was kind of low for compared to some of the doses that people take, that I hear that they take. But my primary physician, thought that that was too much for the length of time that I was on 20 before they weaned me down. So anyway, so some of the things that I have been experiencing since I've taken prednisone is that thing they call moon face. Now, I already had a round head, and when I was a kid, my family used to call me apple head and stuff like that. But that was cute. That was cute because I was a kid. But now I don't care. I don't like the apple head look so much. But it's a puffy, full face, and that's where it shows up in your face. And it's funny because you don't notice it until somebody else mentions it. So I got the moon face or the pie face. And I also have weight gain. So since May, I have put on like 15 pounds since I've been taking this medication. And I'm not really happy with that, because I had, prior to that, before I started getting sick, I wanted to lose weight, but then my body started hurting so bad I had no desire to. And then I received a bike for Mother's Day, And sadly, I have not been able to ride that bike. It's snowing now where we are, so I probably won't be riding it until spring. But I do plan to utilize that bike to help me lose some of this weight. Also with my weight gain is an increased appetite with the medication. You want to eat all the time, and you don't even be hungry. You just want to eat. And whatever that desire is, whatever you're craving, most of the time you can't seem to find it, so you just keep eating, which adds to the weight gain. So I find like before I figured out what was happening, what I was doing, I was eating cookies and baking cookies and making cakes and breads, and man, it was, I made, for Thanksgiving, I made sweet potato pies and zucchini breads and everything sweet. I wanted to make it, but I find I'm trying to pay more attention to that, and I'm trying to eat something in substitution for all of those sweet things that I desire. Also, it changes your sleeping patterns. So, like last night, I was up until, I think I was up until maybe 3:30 or something like that. Because I couldn't go to sleep, and so, and I started talking to myself, well, thinking, man, what could I be doing? I could be doing some work while I'm up. Because I'm up, I may as well get up and do some work. But I can't, because I got to get some rest. My body has to rest. So, and then eventually I dozed off. And then I woke up again. And I have been increasing, if you saw my staying hydrated video, I have been increasing my fluids. And I'm trying to flush my system, continue to flush my system of the medications that I have been taking. So I got to go to the bathroom a lot. In addition to that, okay, whatever. I'll talk to you about the diabetes later. So, all right. So, increased appetite. So I have been experiencing mood swings. Not so much, well, I try to stay away from, when I feel irritated, I try and stay away from people because, or that's not who I am ordinarily, and I don't want to put that in the air, and it's my issue, and I don't want to put that on anybody else. But the people that I keep around me understand what's going on with me. But yeah, you do have mood swings. You can be sad and depressed, and then overly anxious at times, and I don't like those feelings. So that's a good cup of coffee right there. So, my mood swings. So, you have to have people around you who know you and who understand your diagnosis and understand what you're going through. Because that's really important. That's really important. You need to have support during this time. I have a lot of support, and I appreciate it, from my staff to my family, my friends. I appreciate it. Those who know my diagnosis. Not too many people do. I guess they will now if they watch this video, huh? Okay, so also changes in my vision. Like I notice blurriness and adjusting my vision. And I just got these glasses, and so I don't know what happened right there, but I think I was talking about blurry vision. So so what it does is I have to. Sometimes it's blurry. I have to focus, and I've been seeing just little spots. But I have an appointment, and I'm going to check that out because can't be playing with my vision. It's like playing with my brain. And I need my brain to make my money, and I need my vision to see. Okay, so those are the things that's going on with me. Okay, I talked a little bit about my trouble sleeping and the fact that I'm tired a lot. But I have to keep going, but I feel tired, like, especially when I don't get any sleep. Like today, I got maybe 3 hours of sleep, and sleep is important when you're trying to heal your body. And I'm trying to get to a place where I can have 7 hours of restful sleep, because I need my body to have its time to heal. So I am working on that. Like, I didn't sleep well last night, but I do understand that it's the medication, and prayerfully, when I get off of it, I can regulate my sleep pattern. So the next one is brain fog. So brain fog is when it's just that fogginess, when you are thinking, fogginess in decision making, fogginess and clarity. Is just like a fog, like having a conversation, knowing what you want to say but can't find the words, but you know it, can't find the words. Or forgetfulness. I just, like this morning, I was looking for the camera to put the battery in, and I just had it last night, and I couldn't remember where I put the camera, and I made sure I put it someplace so that I could remember where I put it. But so you get brain fog, and sometimes it's worse than others. When you are in pain, it is absolutely ridiculous. And I'll share this with you. Before my diagnosis, back in I started a contract back in January, and I worked through that contract from January to May, and that time, I thank God that He directed and guided me during that time, because I was in so much pain during that time that I barely remember. Had I not written things down, I would not have remembered specific things. So that was a bad time. And it was so painful, and I share this in other videos. It was so painful that I couldn't even sit down. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't lay down. It was bad. Anyway, because of the prednisone, you have a tendency to shake. And I'll tell you, okay, so I'm jumping, but I'll tell you, the dosage for one person could adversely affect you in ways that you could have a larger dose and it not affect you the way that this 20 milligram dose affected me. Everybody's body is different. So, just because these things affected me at the dosage that I was on doesn't mean that it will affect you, but just be aware that some of these things could happen, and share them with your family so that, they can be made aware and look out for them, look out for these things for you, sometimes I find myself shaking, or when I'm teaching, my hands are trembling, and it's not because I'm nervous, but when you take it for a long period of time, it can begin to have effects on you. So so the next thing is sweating. I'm hot or I'm cold. Reminds me of menopause, but not, because I'm not. but But it kind of reminds me of that. Like I could be hot one moment and cold the next. It and the last thing I want to talk about is it altered my insulin production in my body, which caused me to now suffer from diabetes. So my A1C was a little on the abnormal number prior to this here diagnosis and prior to this the medication, prior to the prednisone. But since taking the prednisone, it has exacerbated the diabetes. So now I take diabetic medication twice a day, and I have to now check my glucose on a regular basis. And and I'm hoping that once I'm off this medication that it will bring my insulin levels back to normal where I don't have to take medication. But I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, as I'm trying to deal with one thing at a time. So yeah, I think I covered everything I wanted to cover in this video, and I just want you to know that I am trying to do my best to take care of myself health-wise, and I hope that if you are going through anything like this, that you make a conscious effort to take care of yourself, because that's important, and we're here for a reason. And I do want to do all of those things that God has put me on this earth to do before I leave. So I got to do my part. So with all of those things being said, thank you so much for watching my video. God bless you all. Remember to hug someone, tell them you love them, encourage them, and enjoy your day. God bless you. Oh yeah, one more thing. If you like this video, tell me you like it and subscribe. And if you want to know something about what I have experienced during this fibro journey, ask a question and I will answer you as best I can. Okay, so I'm getting ready for work, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.